Okay, this is about the third time doing this. I might even just put them all out. But this is about the third time trying to do something like this. Okay. Trying to keep this into a subject matter of science, because if somebody would declare to me that this whole atmosphere that I'm around is not scientific, then I wouldn't be able to understand why somebody would say it's not scientific. So the guy who did all this science, did all this array of science that we're seeing around us, we're living, it's inside us, it's outside us, it's surrounding us, it's controlling us. It's all science. It's all science. So if this was all put together by somebody lighting a torch to a, what do you call it, a gas cylinder, and it blew up, and then the whole world came into being. Not science. Why are people driven to that extreme that something had to come out of nothing, when there's not one iota of that experience? There's not one iota of experience of that. We're always seeing connections. We're always seeing a succession. Everything is very well done, you know, very well done. So let's try to delve in it in this way. I'm on a planet of Earth. I know, because I've seen, even with my own eyes, different planets, different stars, so I know this universe. But quantum theory and the entanglement theory, they come to the conclusion there are many universes. Okay, so now, taking that point. Now, I'm standing on what is called the Earth. And in between this Earth and another planet is quite a long ways. The space is quite a long ways. If I was to take that same space and project it into the size of an atom, it would be practically the same. One atom, even in a very solid thing like iron, has a lot of space between the other atom. Yeah, the other atom has a lot of space. So there's a lot of space. Space is not nothing. That's a foolish conclusion, that space is nothing. No. Space is an element. And that is the element that carries sound. Air helps us to hear sound, but space carries sound. If it wasn't for space, your frequencies wouldn't come. They're not coming through air, they're coming through space. That's what they're flying through. So the ability for me to hear you and you to hear me depends on the space. Okay, so now I have space. The atoms have space. The planets have space. And now we know there's many universes. They have a space. Myself, I'm held up by the Earth. The planet Earth is held up. Nobody knows what actually holds it up, but it's held up. It's not moving. It's actually on a road, and it stays on that road. Okay. And it even tilts in different ways on that road. So all the planets have all this. Now, let's take outside all the universes. What is holding up the universes? That must be the major thing. That is like the utmost. What is holding up that place has no time. Why? Because time has to consider different atoms. One atom, another atom, how the atom moves, the distance it travels. If it travels around that atom, then you can measure it and everything. But it's depending on what is called the time factor. It's depending on it. It's dependence on it. Well, if there's a time factor, there must be a place where there's no time factor, and that is sure. So what is there? Time. Time is there. But time not cut. Not cut in past, not cut in future. I never can find my presence, but I know I exist. But I cannot find my presence because the space between past and future is unavailable to me. But it doesn't mean that it's not there. Try to grasp that. I know I exist. I'm talking to you. I know. So the past and the future, they are just elements of the product of present. Present. So present is above past and future. And present is combined, and it's holding up the universes because it hasn't been divided. So Brahma, he's saying this one glorification. Let's put Brahma, we're giving the name Brahma, you can give so many names. A personality who is seeing the cutting of time. He's seeing the cutting of time. He's seeing the manifestations that come from the cutting of time into past and present. So Darwin would faint to this. This is written, this is studied. 8,400,000 species live in this universe. 8,400,000 species of life. In each species of life there may be gradations. But we use the calculation of a species of life, we put the name species of life, into some external form. But no, this personality who is manifesting, or the vision of seeing 8,400,000 species, he is measuring by consciousness. Yes. This species of life will have this level of consciousness. This species of life will have this level of consciousness, this grade of consciousness. That's his measurement. You can't tell me any biological person that can actually go in and tell the consciousness of a species of life. So this is why he's saying 8,400,000. Now, he's manifesting. Brahma is looking. And he is manifesting. Sorry, ladies. He or she. But it's being manifested. But in a pure form. He's able to see into that present. He's able to see into the present. And he's able to acknowledge. Brahma's seeing, and he says, I see thousands and thousands of heads, and I see thousands and thousands of eyes, and I see thousands of feet. Or those things that perform the ability to walk and everything. So he's actually seeing the whole form of the different 8,400,000 species. In that vision, it is in its present state. The next to enter into this universe, it changes. There's a change there. And that is the next prayer he gives. Perhaps I shouldn't say prayer, I should say poem or verse or stanza. So the next stanza that he says, I'm also seeing past. And I'm also seeing future. He doesn't say present. Because that's what is manifested here. A past and a future. And you do not get a complete vision with past and future. So present isn't there. The ability to see present, Brahma's seeing present because he's seeing the personality. And that personality is always in present. But he's manifesting past and future. There it is. The beginning. The past and future. A Darwin would just faint. 8,400,000 species, and they're already being declared. There's no such thing as extinction. Extinction does not exist. This plan, maybe the species disappears from our sight, or maybe the consciousness of the entity is not adequate for that species of life, or the temperature, or it's a water environment, or it's a earth environment, or it's a fire environment. You know, in other words, we may not see it, but it never becomes extinct. And I'll tell you, you cannot add. Oh, I'm going to do GMO and add. They won't tell you the truth. Their GMO, first of all, cost them a lot of money to do all this study and everything, and it only lasts 3 generations. It isn't and I'll say mutation, that is going to continue in a line. It's not going to continue in the line. It can only go at the most 3 they can try to keep it going, but they can't do it. And of course, the farmer is unable to make it have another plant the next year. You can't take the seeds and give another plant. So not even 1 generation is going. So what is this? It's nature saying, I don't accept your studies. I don't accept all your science. I have my science, and I want you to follow my science, not your invented science. The same way with changing, sometimes you just think it's so foolish you don't even say it, but you know, changing genders and stuff like that. It is not a reality. It is just there. And the people that put all their work and delve so much in trying to find out how to do it, they got to have their brain checked, because it isn't in the 8,400,000 species of life. That being one point. So now we've got so much. We got a division, which means there was thousands of heads, thousands of eyes, thousands of feet, 8,400,000 species of life. Then we got the stanza that gives us time, the division of time. Here, time is either in the past or the future, never the present. When the past and future unite, present is there. In other words, think of it. In the present, I can walk, right? I can travel. I can eat. I can speak. This. But it's united. It's harmonious. There's no competition. The competition lies in the past. You lament. Everybody laments for the past. And in the future, you're in anxiety to have it. I want something good coming. I want something good coming. So you're in between. But you're cutting your own life. Anxiety, when the person is so much planning and so much anxious for this, that, and the other, time goes very slow for them, but actually it's going same speed and coming on them even faster. So they get older faster. Just for anxiety for the future. So the time factor, that shows the time factor can change within any sphere of life or even any planet. So just to give a vision of the creation and the atom, there you can see it's double triangles. Yeah, double triangles, right? There's 6 double triangles and they make a like a diamond-shaped sphere. The amount of time that takes 2 atoms to combine plus 3 of these pairs, which comes out to be the 2 triangles. So the 2 triangles to come together and produce a vision or produce something tangible, that is our time here. That's the measurement of our time. How fast it comes together. And how fast it goes apart is the same as how fast it comes together. So that is our measurement here, and that's controlled by the sun. How fast we are going around the sun, how it controls this coming together and going apart. So that as our lifetime is controlled by the rising and setting of the sun. But other planets go slower. Their days are very much longer. Matter of fact, 6 months of our day is a 1 day. 6 months. You know, 6 months, 180 days. 180 days of Earth days is only 1 day of other planets. That's just the, like they consider it the celestial time. Like if you were to travel in the universe, you would use celestial time. And as you travel, the different planets and everything, they'll give different time factors. It may take off and it may be less time. A person that lives in the time factor of, 6 months of ours is a day of theirs. They think we're running around like mad. we're fast speed, we're fast speed ahead. Yeah. So they would like marvel at how what we are doing. So that's time. That's space. So as he's doing these stanzas, and he's the person visualizing and telling us what he's visualizing, he says something that one should become aware of. He makes no, like, this is the right way, this is the wrong way. He doesn't make this decision. Why? He's doing this for that person who manifested, and he wants to do it perfect. He wants to give a situation for both personalities. Some personalities desire to leave this sphere and go higher. They are the ones that want to follow the renouncement of here. And there's others who want to follow the enjoyment of here. So he's not making a declaration that this is the good path and this is the bad path. He says, no, you pick your path. You pick your path. You'll be rewarded on this earth with better life and longer life if you follow this. And you'll be rewarded in a higher realm if you do this, and this. So he says, he actually calls it, this is the path of eating, because eating is the most enjoyable thing, you know. when you're hungry and you come to dinner and everything, that's an enjoyable thing. Eating. So this one is the path of eating, and the other one is path of renunciation. And the person in the path of eating is not too much attracted to the path of renunciation. So all right, but you go ahead. I don't want to bother your path of eating. And please, I want to do my path of renunciation. Nor do I feel that you are down and low class and I am up. No. I'm following a path that gives me great pleasure. And you are following a path otherwise. So this is just for showing some science, and that it's based on science. There's no way to get away from the science. This science. The person who established the divisions of time, past and future, the person who established the division of distance, acceleration, velocity. This is all very scientific. And the person who established all the species of life that match the consciousness of the person. The consciousness of the person takes on a certain life. Sometimes you look at somebody and you say, man, this person looks like a pigeon from last life. You know, it's like you can see the variety of even within humans. And this 8,400,000 includes all living entities, meaning all the demigods, all the asuras, everybody is included within this. So all the different kinds of consciousnesses. It's not that somebody can invent or make a new species. And please don't say extinction. There's no extinction of all these species of life. There's never an extinction. We may not see it. There may not be the atmosphere. Perhaps you need a lot of water and the water isn't available, so you may not see it. But it's somewhere. Because why? It's the consciousness. The consciousness is like the miraculous part of the soul. So at a certain level of consciousness, he's given a body. Of course he exists. He exists. And that species of life exists. To say that it's out of existence, no. It's just somewhere else. Maybe even in storage, but is not out of existence. It can even come into existence without the normal way of coming into existence. Yeah, it may seem like out of the norm, but it can come into existence without the. Yeah, so I just get into that. and hope some the persons get a little bit of insight in what is going on, and they, if they want to, they can. I'll leave some links, you know, and you can look everything up. Brahma, he all these stanzas, you know, there's about 18 stanzas in his first vision. His first vision, he gave 18 stanzas, a description of what he's seen, Purusha Sukta. And that same 18 stanzas, they are also presented in the first part of a volume. There's a volume called Srimad Bhagavatam, and the first division, they're presented in a chapter 3, and that is the divisions of incarnations, but it's actually the Purusha Sukta amplified. And what they're talking about is what Brahma is seeing. He's seeing the different incarnations. They're not going to name off 8,400,000 species of life, but some parts, just to give us a view that the person who came and manifested himself and manifested all the species, he is given it in a pure sense, and this is what we identify. We identify that he is Varaha. We identify he is Nrsimha. We identify, but all species, they're not going to say them all, 8,400,000, but at least some specific species they'll name off, so that the person can understand that these are coming from a personality. Yeah. So that's that chapter. And then again in these second canto. Yeah. Okay, I have to go get the door, and I will end it right here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yeah, coming.